In the depths of the vast universe, on a distant planet called Zolaris, lived an alien named EXOR. EXOR was a scientist obsessed with studying different planets and the characteristics of their inhabitants. Among these planets, Earth had become his primary focus. For years, he had observed humans from afar, studying their habits, emotions, and what fascinated him the most, tears. Determined to understand the mysterious liquid that flowed from human eyes, EXOR decided to journey to Earth. Using his small spacecraft, he landed in a secluded forest, away from prying eyes. Disguised as a simple human, he began his mission to uncover the secrets of tears. On his first day on Earth, EXOR stumbled upon a young man named Liam, sitting alone by the edge of a small lake, quietly crying. Intrigued, he approached him and gently asked, "Why are you crying?" Liam looked at him in surprise, then replied, "It's many things: sadness, fear, and sometimes even hope. Sometimes, tears are the only way to express what words cannot." EXOR gazed at his shimmering tears and decided to collect a sample without him noticing. Using a small device hidden in his hand, he captured a single drop. The complexity of his emotions fascinated him, as he began to realize that this seemingly simple act of crying held layers of meaning. Returning to his spacecraft, EXOR began analyzing the sample. The results were astonishing. He discovered that human tears contained a unique combination of bioenergy, a blend of complex emotions such as love, sorrow, joy, and hope. This energy was powerful enough to illuminate his city on Zolaris for days. Each emotion seemed to radiate a distinct frequency, combining into a harmonious energy that defied all his prior understanding of physics and biology. What surprised him even more was the effect of this energy on his own body. When a small amount of the tear sample touched his skin, he felt a strange warmth coursing through him, as if he were experiencing human emotions for the first time. A rush of memories and thoughts, none of which were his own, overwhelmed him. He felt Liam's sadness, his fears, and the fragile thread of hope he clung to. He realized then that these tears were not just a simple liquid but a reflection of what made humans truly human. Over the next few days, EXOR immersed himself in human culture. He visited cities, watched families interact, and observed people in their moments of triumph and despair. He saw a child fall and cry in frustration only to be comforted by a parent's embrace. He witnessed a joyful reunion at a train station, where tears of happiness flowed freely. At a hospital, he observed mourners shedding tears of grief over a lost loved one. Each scene deepened his understanding of the human experience and made him marvel at the resilience and depth of their emotions. One evening, EXOR sat in a quiet park, reflecting on what he had seen. An elderly man approached him and struck up a conversation. The man spoke about his late wife, his joys, and his regrets. EXOR listened intently, feeling a strange connection to the man's story. It was in that moment he realized that tears were not a weakness, as he had initially assumed, but a profound expression of love, loss, and hope. With this discovery, EXOR faced a dilemma. Collecting human tears in large quantities could solve the energy crisis on his home planet. However, doing so would mean exploiting humans and possibly causing them harm. He grappled with the moral implications of his plan. Could he justify saving his planet at the expense of another? The next day, he returned to Liam and asked him, "Would you forgive someone who used your tears for their own purposes?" Liam replied, "It depends. If that person truly seeks to do good, they must ask themselves if they can achieve their goal without hurting others. Tears are precious because they come from something deep within us. They're not something to take lightly." His words were enough to awaken EXOR's conscience. He realized that humans were not mere sources of energy but complex beings deserving of respect. He decided to abandon his initial plan of harvesting tears and instead focus on a more ethical solution. Instead of exploiting humans, EXOR dedicated himself to sharing the knowledge he had gained. Over weeks, he worked tirelessly in his spacecraft to develop a small device capable of converting human emotions into energy without needing their tears. The device would allow humans to harness their own emotional power in a way that was non-invasive and respectful of their autonomy. When the device was complete, he entrusted it to Liam, explaining how it could help humanity. He showed him how it worked, demonstrating how a moment of joy or an act of kindness could generate energy. Liam, in turn, promised to use the device for the betterment of the world and to ensure that it was not misused. Before departing, EXOR said to him, "I have learned more from your tears than I have from years of study. Thank you for teaching me the meaning of emotions. Your people possess something truly extraordinary." EXOR returned to Zolaris, but he never forgot what he had learned on Earth. His story with humans became a lasting lesson on his planet about empathy and mutual respect. The energy crisis was resolved, but more importantly, the alien race learned to value emotions as a universal force. Exor's findings inspired his people to explore emotions within their own culture, something they had long ignored. One quiet night, Liam sat by the same lake, gazing at the stars and wondering if EXOR was watching him from afar. Perhaps he was, or perhaps he wasn't. But he knew one thing: his tears, once an expression of his pain, had become a symbol of hope for another world. He often found himself explaining Exor's story to others, hoping that it would inspire them to see the power of their emotions and the importance of empathy. As time passed, Liam noticed small changes in his community. People seemed more open about their feelings, more willing to express both joy and sorrow. He believed that Exor's device had not only harnessed energy but had also sparked a quiet revolution of understanding and connection among humans. The world grew a little brighter, not just because of the energy it produced, but because of the bonds it strengthened. In the end, Exor's journey was not just about understanding tears but about recognizing the beauty and complexity of humanity. Through his eyes, Liam and his fellow humans came to see themselves in a new light, and through their tears, they found a way to bridge the gap between worlds. The tale of an alien scientist and a human's tears would forever be a reminder of the power of empathy to transform not just individuals but entire civilizations.